In the complaint to closed session 40, under the First Amendment complaint for violations of the First, Fifth, and 14th Amendments and the California Constitution, pursuant to 42 U.S.C. 1983.
So, Speaker, this is your only warning. You can speak to that during general if you'd like, but please stick to the agenda items at this time.
Is item number 40 available to speak on, sir?
Yes, but speak to item 40.
So I am. I'm speaking about the Alliance and how the wonderful David O'Carter has a hearing this Friday, Smoke and Scan and anyone in the audience at the federal court building, because we want to know whether or not LA Alliance and the County of Los Angeles and all the criminal corruption of the pay-to-play payers have stolen public money. Imelda won't tell you because she's a cheerleader. She don't know shit. And I know over there the Armenian guy don't know shit because he's too worried about Donald J. Trump on this rights at City of Los Angeles, United States District Court. And the case number 220CV0229.
Speaker, you've exhausted your 1 minute on that item. Please move on to another item.
Hey, you told me to read item 40 into the record. I am, sir.
We can take him to his general public comment.
No. I'm going to item number 1 first. But before I do anything, I'd like to submit these for the record so they don't mess up your floor, sir.
Mr. Herman, you are here almost every meeting. You know that you can provide your documents to the sergeants.
All right. So item number 1, dealing with liens, everybody. I'm not talking about the unfortunate lien. I'm talking about the lien on record here on item number 1 for Mr. Grote. Oh, matter of fact, it's Uncle Tom on number 1. Look at here, 26-0160-S-Sucker-28. The annual inspection cost by the chairman, Mr. Dawson, relative to the 1134 East 107th Street racist discriminatory issues. Well, I'm here in protest on behalf of the residents on that property, Mr. Is it Dogson? Woof, woof. Are you listening? Do I got his attention, Mr. Attorney? Can you please address him to pay attention to this?
Mr. Herman, your time has expired. Next speaker. Mr. Herman, this is your last opportunity. You have already been warned. I would also note that you were on probation pursuant to the council rules. If you were listening, the council president already took away your time because you did not listen to our instructions. So if you disrupt this meeting again, you'll be subject to removal pursuant to Rule 7 and Rule 12. Next speaker.
Good morning.
Good morning. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Thank you. I want to start with 11 and 12, the innovation funds. I put in a request for an innovation fund so that streets, LA, police department, everything can have a coordinated efforts on what permits are out there because you guys have no clue. None of your departments know what the other department's doing. And so that's why there's all these violations that are leaving the city open to being sued. And that's where Mr. Curran Price is he didn't realize, I guess, that they have to keep the sidewalks open, but they didn't keep the sidewalks open. And even Smoke and Scan and all of us here know that you have to keep the sidewalks open with these permits. And so it's not cool. So I'm asking you to please approve I did put in a formal request for it with the Innovation Fund, and I ask you to please look into that. Okay, the next one I want to look into is, with these parades, right? You want to recoup cost of LAPD with the parades. I'm asking you to when it comes to the holiday parade in Hollywood, you know that Scientology is the main person that does that, right? All their front groups, and even the group that actually gets the permit, they're like Scientologists, and they're connected to Scientology. So I don't know why Scientology has to do all this backdoor stuff. Is it because there's a lot of public disdain right now, and there has been?
Which item are you speaking to?
The one about the parades, redoing how you do your First Amendment parades. And if I'm not mistaken, the Hollywood parade is a First Amendment parade that goes through LAPD, not through Bureau of Street Services. So I'm talking on that, sir, for the record. I know Smoke and Stan got it, but hopefully you did too. And then I want to talk about the Olympics. Okay, we don't want Scientology being part of the Olympics. Now, with the French thing, right, the mayor was all buddy-buddy with Tom Cruise, okay? And so I'm nervous that she's going to continue that trend with Tom Cruise here at the Olympics. I hope her fellow, other competing candidates like Ms. Rahman would stand against Scientology being a part of the Olympics, but we will see. I invite her to stand up and take a stand that we don't want Scientology as part of the Olympics because they are a human trafficking, pedo-protecting cult. Okay, the one about the monies, the monies that you're getting for the police department and the fire department. Okay, but we want to know who's donating the money. All that stuff is hidden. Like Scientology could do send out a $100,000 gift, and it goes through either the LAPPL or the fire fund, and we don't know who's actually giving the money. So,
General public comment?
General public. Shout out to Smoke and Scan, finally. Yep, hey, Smoke and Scan. Okay, I want to talk about these kids running through the buildings. I am disgusted that you guys, this city, are turning them over to major crimes for possible hate crimes. These are kids being kids. Do I condone it? No. Would I do it? Do I suggest they do it? No, I don't. But it's not a hate crime. The real crimes are what's being committed by Scientology. Maybe these kids are sick and tired of hearing me come to this city for 3 years begging for you to actually deal with the victims of Scientology, and you won't. Why aren't they being investigated by major crimes? Why? I don't get it, okay? We have brought so much people and so much evidence, but some kid runs through a Scientology building and, it's the biggest crisis of the year? Give me a break. Investigate Scientology. Investigate Kirsten Peterson, Kendrick Moxon, David Miscavige. They need to be investigated. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good morning, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Brian Diego, and I am a student at East College Prep, presenting this as my final project. What brings me here today is to talk about homelessness in Los Angeles and what can be improved moving forward. Homelessness is something that we see every day with many different variations. It can be tents on sidewalks and people sleeping in cars, or families struggling to find stable housing. While there have been many promises and efforts to address this issue, many people in our community feel like not enough has been changed. I believe one major problem is that solutions often focus on temporary fixes instead of long-term solutions. More support should go towards mental health services, job training, and affordable housing, not just short-term shelters. Prevention matters just as much as response. Showing accountability when plans are announced as well as public should be clearly see what progress is being made and where funding is actually going. Transparency builds trust and helps believe change is possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good morning, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. My name is Carlos Abrica, and I'm a student at East College Prep. I'm here to talk about the COVID-19 pandemic and how it changed our life as students and why we need better support systems moving forward. When the world shut down and classrooms turned into computer screens overnight, for many of us, it wasn't just a break from school. It was a period of deep isolation. Students faced huge struggles, from unreliable internet and shared workspaces at home to heavy weight of anxiety and burnout. Despite these challenges, it often felt like there was very little available help. We were expected to keep up with our grades as if the world wasn't upside down, and mental health resources provided just weren't enough. I believe we must learn from this experience to protect our future. If other crises were to happen, we wouldn't just react, we should be prepared. We need permanent, accessible mental health programs and better technology equity so that no student is left behind because they can't afford a stable connection. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Brandon Atalano. I just want to say this would be my general comment. And I want to say
Hold
thank
on,
you.
if we can pause this time. So I'm going to ask that you start with item 1 as requested,
item 1.
and then go into general, just so we're consistent with everybody else. Thank you. Please begin with the item.
Okay, so I'm just reading here under protests, appeals, or objections. Correct me if I'm wrong, but related to the proposed lien on the nuisance abatement costs, of the code and violations of the inspection costs. I see a lot of that, and it's fine, it's great. But the word abatement, I like the way we use the word abatement within the category of the paragraph and the summary of everything. And if I have to do things political, I will. The word abatement means to overlap something within a compound process. It's like simple interest and compound interest. If anybody knows about that, I advise you look into it and live your life off compound interest. But abatement is to tax you people through compound interest. Read your items. I think I did it off one word. Thank you.
General?
General comment. Thank you to the city of Los Angeles. Thank you to the pod, the well, whatever we call this thing, to the respectful people of our city, county, and state, and nation, and world, and universe. Why not? To the Galactic Federation. But yes, to my secret societies, to my non-secret societies. My name is Brandon Atalano. I will be running for president in 2032 with my friends, with my team, the Avengers. These people behind me, they are the people, whether they're rude, negative, or unworthy to listen to sometimes. But yeah, I know the people of LA needs cleanup. The streets need cleanup. You guys have a big project on your hands, the Olympics. I don't want to sound rude or tasteful or distasteful, but I love this city. I love the counties. I love this state. I love this nation. Thank you.
Thank you. And as we wait for the next speaker to come up, Mr. Herman, this is a courtesy. The speaker continued, but please hold your applause till the end. Do not disrupt the public speakers. They did not disrupt you.
My name is Joseph Tristan, and I have been working for Subway for 10 years, and I am urging you to please move forward with the fast food work law. Right now, we are dealing with constant stress, showing up to work and doing our job, but our employee is not doing their part. We are facing shortage on our hours, getting paid late, and constant stress. Through the union, I have learned that my rights and never thought through my job. That's why we need a full day of mandatory Know Your Rights training. Workers can currently understand the use of the protections we have.
I have this to submit
Yes,
to
you can
each,
provide it to the sergeants after
to
your
each
public
of
comment.
you for the public record. Griffith Observatory is putting the city of Los Angeles at risk. I'm presenting this to you to note, if you bring a telescope, and this is my telescope, if anyone wants to see it, I'll share. You can look at it. If someone brings a telescope, the director of the observatory says that you might discuss something not up to observatory standards. So they serve to restrict speech, to break the First Amendment, to prevent the scope, and also the deed says, Griffith gave to Los Angeles, the deed says that the land must always be used for pleasure, amusement, and recreation. You're violating those things. In an extreme resolution, the land could go back to the Griffiths or their heirs. I intend to push this. I want to bring my scope and use it outside. Are we done?
Yes, thank you. Next speaker.
Yeah, so as a member of the public, I know you won't be able to answer it now, but in the future, I'm kind of curious, like, what happens and how the city spends its money on liens. I'm kind of curious which, discretionary funds are used to fund liens. Now, moving to item number 3 and 4. So, my recommendation is to obviously listen and hear to the appellants and make sure that their concerns are fully addressed before you work on the project, which I know the councilwoman was doing her best to do so. Now, item number 11. Let's see. So I approve this. Let's see if anything productive comes out of this study. Item number 12, I don't know why we need the LAPD to do another study when they're overly funded as usual. Let's see, what next? Item number 13, we approve because we know that the city is prone to wildfires like the Woolsey fire or the Kenneth fire or the Palisades fire. So, yeah. Now, item 14, and again, my recommendation to city staff is to write stuff that makes sense to normal people. No, I have no idea what item 14 is about. I have no idea. This is just a recommendation for the future that, you know, not everyone understands the jargon that you guys use, so maybe you should simplify it so we understand what you guys are talking about. Anyways, I'll move to general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
So, this is the magazine from CSUN, Sundial. See, it says a costly kickoff, which is the FIFA World Cup. So I'm going to read a portion of an article, hopefully I'm able to. So, critics fear that the 2028 games will follow in the footsteps of the 1984 games in a more sinister way. Per a Washington Post analyst by assistant professor of African American Studies at Ball State University, Max Keller Cantor, Garcetti and others heap praise on the 84 games for its profitability and investment in sports. However, there is a dark side of the games. Partnering with the Department of Defense, the LAPD hired additional officers at a cost of more than $20 million to sanitize the area and keep crime to a minimum during the games. So last week we heard from the LAPD chief that we don't have the manpower to do the policing. So the question is, where are you guys going to get the policing? Food for thought. Bye-bye.
Good morning, Los Angeles. Buongiorno and welcome. We have two united things. This is Rome Republican and Greece democracy. This is true. Gracias.
Thank you very much. And again, thank you for allowing me to speak. The easiest thing for me to say is 21 feet. I realize that people are trying to disregard the 21 feet to 26-foot difference. However, I would like to point out that the city of Los Angeles has been burned on numerous occasions by developers who have lied to councils. I can look at the old spaghetti factory, the high-rises downtown that are still sitting vacant, and even the Target that was built on Western that exceeded the height limits. If this developer is willing to lie about the width of the street, there is nothing saying they won't lie about anything else. I've gone out there with friends. We have measured it perpendicularly at a 90-degree angle from curb to curb. 21 feet is extent. Years ago, I made the mistake when I was working on a film of driving a 5-ton down there. Regardless, it took myself and 6 of our local neighbors to get the vehicle turned around because of the lack of space on this. Thank you for your time, folks.
Hi, my name is Dessa. I am here because the city of Los Angeles is complicit in the abuse of trans women. Dear friend of mine, Davina, a trans veteran, called crisis hotline this last Wednesday and was directed to the LAPD, who then kicked down her door, pointed weapons at her, cuffed her, and put her in a 5150, and she's been held like that since last Wednesday, not being able to see friends or family, and she's been being denied real human care at the VA. You need to defund these bloated, corrupt police and start funding the UMCR. There's no reason why she should have had the LAPD at her door at all, kicking down her door, abusing her, and now she's being held. We cannot see her. The VA is not letting us see her. They're not giving her HIV medicine on schedule. So she is not being treated well, and we need to stop this. LAPD is out of control.
Okay, thank you. My name is Shannon Fink, and as of this summer, I will have lived on Robla Vista Drive for 24 years. I am also a renter, so I have no financial stake in this. However, I'm a single mother of 3 and a long-term resident of the street and neighborhood. The reason my fellow neighbors and I are here and have sent numerous emails, attended the other hearings, is not because any of us are opposed to development and more housing in this city. It is because we live in a very unique location that the street only has room for 1 regular-sized vehicle at a time. It is already at capacity. We have no parking. It is very difficult to navigate in and out of our own residences as it is. We would literally be trapped at the end of a dead-end street, unable to leave our own street if this was approved. There is no room for a car to go around another car, much less a truck. If they took away the parking on the street to accommodate the trucks, there'd be nowhere for us to park. And the street is a very long, windy road with no sidewalks. There's no room for pedestrians to leave. It is a dead end. There's no outlet. So it's not like a construction project on a street where people can choose to go the other direction or can walk safely on a sidewalk the other direction to avoid it. There are young children, there are senior citizens, people cannot even walk to their homes. You have to get in a car to get to your house and to get out. If they approve that time of day, people need to leave all those times a day. Children need to be picked up from school, taken to school. People need to go to doctor's appointments. God forbid we had a fire. The fire vehicles would not be able to come to our street. We wouldn't be able to evacuate. We couldn't even go on foot because there would be massive amounts of earth being poured down onto our street. It would not be safe to walk with your dog, your child. A crossing guard would do nothing for us. Is that the end, or do I have another?
It'll switch over to general public comment. Go ahead.
So a crossing guard that they added on last time after we begged them for attention. We've been begging for someone to come and just look at the street. If one person from the city came and just physically drove down that street one time, you would understand why we're all here. We are here because we are desperately afraid. Our lives would literally be in danger if this project was to proceed. This is not about any of the normal standard things that people are concerned about with development. That we can talk about the street width, et cetera, because we could not literally get around. We would be stuck. Not only would we not be able to have access to our cars, where would we park our cars? We'd have to walk by a crossing guard to save a child with boulders are falling down on our heads would do nothing. There's no way out. We would physically be pinned in our street with no ability to leave, and no emergency vehicles would come down. So that really needs to be the focus of this beyond any other discussions, because no crossing guards or traffic assessment, those things are relevant, but not when it comes to actually human lives and safety. That is like the most important thing.
Good morning, my name is Paloma Bustos and I'm with the Sunita Jain Anti-Traffic Initiative at Loyola Law School. We commend the council for checking on LA 28 to make sure that they're following on their promises, especially around hiring, transparency, and benefits to the community. From the perspective of human trafficking and exploitation, this is very important. Large events like the Olympics rely on many layers of contractors and subcontractors. When there is not enough transparency, it becomes easier for labor exploitation, trafficking, wage theft, and unsafe working conditions to go unnoticed. If the city is asking for transparency, that should include how workers are treated and how subcontractors are being used, not just the main contracts. We encourage the city to make sure the reporting includes worker protections and accountability across the full contracting system. This is an opportunity to prevent harm before it happens. I'll move on to item 27. We support the city's efforts for creating a formal agreement with LA 28 to make sure the city is paid back for the cost of hosting the Olympics. And we want to make sure it also reflects the large events like the Olympics increase the need for services related to labor exploitation and human trafficking, especially industries like construction, hospitality, and temporary work. These impacts are predictable and should be treated as part of the cost of hosting the games. We encourage the city to include worker protections, labor standard enforcement, and anti-trafficking efforts as part of the LA 28 is responsible for covering. If these protections are not included now, the city may end up responding to harm later instead of preventing it. Thank you.
Good morning, Council President and Council members. My name is James Finney Conlon, and I'm here on behalf of the Los Angeles Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm here to express concern regarding item 26, regarding the proposal for the city to introduce more complexity into the procurement process for the Olympic and Paralympic Games. The Los Angeles Area Chamber of Commerce is a longtime partner to LA28 and to the city. And we share a deep commitment to expanding opportunities for local businesses. As written by LA28, the current procurement plan provides a clear, credible pathway that encourages early engagement, preparation, and readiness, everything small businesses need to thrive. Respectfully, now is not the time to introduce new requirements for a procurement system. We need to work together to build momentum. We urge the City of Los Angeles to support LA28 plan and engage with the broad network of organizations working to make sure LA businesses are ready for what is ahead. One tangible way that every member of council can help small businesses is by encouraging your constituents to access the RAMP portal and engage in procurement processes.
I'm Harriet, Elliott, and I'm coming here today because I'm being evicted. I got a 3-day notice to cure violations. And what is the problem? I'm screaming. And why am I screaming? I'm on a target of directed energy attacks. Do you know, when I was walking through UCLA one time, I saw mapping, mind mapping. They do not believe in the same mind mapping we do. We say that once you start, the CIA starts mind mapping, you're ready, you're going to be a target. And once that target happens, I scream. Once they start there is a man named Len Barr. He talked for an hour on YouTube. He doesn't scream. I don't know how anyone can go through this without screaming, okay? By the way, I was going to talk about Renee Pittman. She said that her daughter leaves in the middle of the night for romantic interludes. The interludes are, she's going to a man who is a part of a team of observers.
Good morning, Council. My name is Bianca Walters. I founded an initiative last year called Run It Women's Workforce, where we have been successfully training and placing women in construction, administration, and operational roles throughout LA. I'm here today because the bureaucracy meant to support workforce development in the city is actively suffocating our grassroots solution. It's been extremely hard for me to break through to the Department of Economic Opportunity and various workforce development boards, despite many emails and office visits and trying to get answers from a higher level. Many times the response is complete silence. I'm running out on time here, so pretty much our movement has been successful in training and placing women in these construction operational roles. We're looking to grow. My ask today is to get in touch with someone from a appropriate workforce development board that can help us grow this movement and get on the eligible training providers list. I can't keep up with the capacity of students that are interested. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.